Hi folks, this is a video I hoped I wouldn't have to make. I'm trying to keep it together. So, Scruffy has been missing for 2 days now. This has never happened before. There has been, I think, only a couple times where he was missing for 1 day, but he has never missed 2 days in a row. And the last time he missed even, I think, a single day was, I think, 2 years ago. So it wasn't a recent thing. And I can't remember if it was only half a day or a full day. So I remember there was the time I fed him a gopher, and I don't think I saw him the entire day the next day. And then I think I remember there was a day he went missing, and I remember I was walking through the neighborhood looking for him, and I didn't find him, but he came back the next day. But yeah, he didn't show up all of yesterday, and he hasn't shown up all today. I left food out for him and water. I brought it out this morning, earlier than our normal lunchtime. I wanted to increase the chances that he would get some food if he was around. So at this point, I know that the chances are slim. It's very unusual for a cat, particularly a feral cat, to change the pattern like this. I think the only legitimate possibility, or highly probable possibility, for a cat to suddenly change the pattern is natural anyway, is if they go in the heat. But since Scruffy is TNR'd, that's not an issue. So since Scruffy hasn't showed up in 2 days, it's unlikely he's not going to show up. He's going to show up ever. So I called my neighbors today to see if they've seen him. So I first called my neighbor with security cameras, because she picks up a bunch of the animals sometimes on her camera, particularly in the middle of the night. I think it was a couple months ago she mentioned Scruffy had been on camera, and this is when he still had the dreadlocks. And she thought somebody had tortured the poor cat and tied a t-shirt that he was dragging behind him. And I told her, no, that's the dreadlock. That's how he sheds every year. This year I was trying to cut it off, but yeah, he's so skittish that it's really hard to get the scissors to cut it. But anyway, so yeah, she hadn't seen him. I think she said the last time she's seen him, it's been a couple weeks. She said there was a stray dog that appeared. I think I might have mentioned this. It happened a few weeks ago. And she said ever since that incident, most of the cats have stayed away, because I guess they can sense the dog. So she didn't see Scruffy. I talked to my other neighbors who, the kids, they named all the feral and stray cats in the neighborhood, so they knew who I'm talking about. So they call Scruffy Church. So fortunately, they haven't seen him in the past 2 days. They did say they saw him 3 days ago. So they said it was in the evening. Scruffy was sitting. It was at night. Yeah, so at night, he was sitting, I think, on their driveway. So if their recollection's accurate, that places Scruffy probably after I had last fed him. So that weird night where he wasn't eating much, and he was sitting out in the middle of the deck. My guess is he left the yard sometime after that and went around the neighborhood and ended up at one point in front of my neighbor's house, sitting out front there. So that's the last known sighting of Scruffy. And I don't know if he ever made it back. So today I tried crawling under the deck and see if I could spot him. My thinking was that if he's injured or sick but still alive, maybe I can spot him crawled up in some corner somewhere, and maybe I can get him some help. Unfortunately, the deck just doesn't have a lot of clearance. I really couldn't get under there. I took a flashlight and I shined it down every alleyway I could, and I was crouching. I walked to the perimeter of the deck, trying to look under every crevice to see if I could spot him, but I couldn't spot him. There's a lot of leaves and debris under there, and there are a lot of little support pillars everywhere, so if he was curled up behind one of the pillars that wasn't in line of sight, I wouldn't know if he was there. And I didn't hear him meow or call out, so I don't know if he's there or not. So anyway, the neighbors know, so they'll keep an eye out, but it's, as I said, chances are not good at this point. Also asked about Boots. I have been thinking about Boots. I haven't seen him, I think, since spring. I don't think I've seen Boots all summer. And I brought that up with them, and yeah, they also realized they haven't seen Boots in quite a while. So I was thinking, yeah, there's a chance that Boots is not with us anymore either. I suspect Scruffy outlived Boots. So I wrote down some notes, things I need to address. I have not been thinking that clearly today. Sorry, I didn't really expect to be hit this hard by this. I'm surprised. I don't think Scruffy liked me that much, so I'm surprised I got so attached to him. So anyway, first administrative thing. So some of you are aware that there's a delay when I post the videos from when they're recorded. This video I'm actually posting immediately after I can get it uploaded. So some of you may notice I number the videos, so this number is going to be much further than what the current video is. So I think this video is going to be 1211, and I think we're somewhere around, that's posted live right now, is 1159. So I think there's roughly, it's a little over a month, probably a month and a half, no, not 2 months, lag. And the reason for that is historical. When I first started this, I actually didn't know if I was actually going to upload these to YouTube. I hadn't really thought out the whole thing. I didn't know if I was what I was gonna do. All I knew was there was a little feral cat that hung out my yard. So I thought maybe I'd start recording my encounters just so I could document it for myself. So when I do something right, I'd have a record of it. When I do something wrong, I'd also have a record of it, and then I can review stuff in the future. So when I forget, I can basically compare my notes or the videos and figure out, okay, this worked, this didn't work, don't do that again. Oh, maybe this is promising, and so forth. And a secondary thing was, at the time, my internet was actually really, really, really slow. I had a ADSL. If you don't know what ADSL is, it's kind of an older technology. It's not very fast, and it's what they call asymmetric. So you can download much faster than you can upload. And since these videos are big and I have to upload them, they take forever to upload. And so I was having a problem uploading that much data. And what ended up happening was I had a friend who had a very, very fast internet connection. So I saved up a bunch of videos, and then the next time I paid them a visit, they let me use their internet connection to upload all the videos I had amassed, and that was probably a month and a half's worth of videos, and so I instantly had a backlog. And so that backlog had persisted ever since I started this over 3 years ago. My thinking was eventually I'd probably take a trip or travel or something, and there would be a period where I wouldn't have any videos to post, and so I basically draw down on the surplus that I had, and eventually, probably catch up. But oddly, I never traveled in these 3 years. So I still have the backlog. So anyway, my plan is to upload this video immediately, and part of my reasoning for that is it's kind of a emotional thing for me, because I didn't want to be responding to the videos that were being published from a month and a half ago, and where everything is good and a-okay, and nobody would know, and nobody knew what was actually going on here. So I felt like I needed to post this video now, so at least maybe I could get I don't know if emotional support's the right word, but at least I wouldn't have to explain the weird difference of what people are seeing in the backlog of videos versus what's actually going on. So just getting this video out at least it helps explain that connection. So let's see, let me check my notes here. So anyway, I'm not giving up yet, but I know the chances are bad. But emotionally, probably not ready to give up. So I will continue putting out food and water in the day, and I'll keep these porch lights these porch lights on them Yeah, so I'll keep these porch lights on a little later than I usually do at night. Hoping that, you know, Scruffy will find his way back, find his way to food. If Scruffy does reappear, I will post that immediately. So I won't keep you guys waiting. In the meantime, I'll probably continue posting the backlog of videos at the regular rate. I don't know, maybe I'll increase the pace. I don't know. I do plan to do at least a couple more videos after this one. Obviously, the next ones will probably contain updates of me looking out here. There probably won't be much to say, so I might just combine those videos. I might not do a daily video, depending on how I feel. But I expect there will probably be another video where I beat up on myself doing the Monday morning quarterbacking thing. Looking for the possible signs I might have missed. Things maybe I should have done. Or things I should have done differently. And then, yeah, there's also one more video I want to do. So before all this happened, I'd actually been drafting a letter that was going to formally ask for help for Scruffy from a cat rescue group that I found that might be willing to help if I could convince them. So I had been working on drafting that letter. I was actually on the second revision. I had planned to do one more revision of it. And then all this happened. So I think in a future video, I'll probably share that letter. So I guess I should also thank everybody who's watched over these past 3 years and giving me advice and moral support. I do appreciate it. I don't appreciate the negative accusations, but a lot of you were very good, very kind, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, this is hard because I keep reliving the past few weeks, few months, 3 years, wondering what should I have done differently. You know, beating myself up doesn't really help anything. And irrationally, I did my best, and I know Scruffy got a better life these past 3 years with my help. One of you commented not long ago, actually, that looked back at the first videos of Scruffy in the early days, and you said that Scruffy looked really bad and weak back then, and Scruffy would not have survived that first winter without my help and care. So I really appreciate hearing that. It's something my flawed brain has hard time accepting and internalizing, but it's also something I think I need to hear. Wow, I'm really surprised at how hard this is. I'm surprised at how attached I got to Scruffy. That skittish cat who always seems terrified. Likes to hiss. But overall, Scruffy was a really sweet cat. And Scruffy was dealt a really terrible hand at life. So glad I was able to help make his life a little better. It's just hard for me to think about the fact that he's probably gone forever now. So I knew this was a possibility when I started. Didn't really expect to get this attached. And I was actually hoping for a slightly different outcome. So in the bad case, I was kind of hoping if Scruffy was injured or sick, he might just walk into the house one day and refuse to leave, and that would give me one last good chance to get my hands on him and get him to a vet. Since he's so skittish around me, I don't really have a way of capturing him and transporting him. So I thought if he got into trouble, yeah, maybe that would be one way out. The thing I was actually hoping for, which ties back to that letter I was writing, was that I was writing to ask if I could get help to rehome him. So I was hoping somebody who was more capable and had the resources could give him a forever home. And I would definitely help in any way I could with handoff. And then obviously we get him some vet care as we do the handoff. I would have to say goodbye, but at least I get to say goodbye, unlike now. And I would get to say goodbye under positive circumstances, so I know he'd get a good home. So I think I probably should wrap this up. It's already gone on much longer than I thought. I thought this would be a short little video. Oh yeah, just before I forget. So that's those are several clips of Scruffy's shedded fur that he tends to shed in clumps. So I picked it up from around the yard and Sadly, there were actually some better clips I picked up last week, but I already threw them away. But now I realize I probably should have kept one of those better clips as a memento. Sort of like how people will keep like a lock of hair of somebody. So I thought, I'll keep a lock of fur of Scruffy, so I actually have something physical, tangible to remember him by. I guess I'm kind of lucky that I filmed pretty much 99% of our encounters together, so they're all on YouTube. So just about everything that's happened is preserved as long as that repository is there. But yeah, sometimes the tangible stuff is better. So I'll probably wash what's left of those scraggly locks of fur and keep it as a memento. So I think I'll wrap it up here. Just want to thank you all again for watching these past 3 years and all your support. I will try to keep you updated, and I hope maybe a miracle might happen and we'll see him again, healthy, and I'll get one more chance to try to hand him off to get him a good forever home. So my heart is broken right now, but I'll keep the porch light on a little longer. Thanks for watching. Good night.